So we received a question from a security leader in the healthcare setup. Like organizations, like how should they protect access to the data securely to their employees, especially in today's world where remote is becoming normal, right? So in that
Sure.
type of a setup, how should they protect access to the data, and also how should they ensure that the data is protected at the same time?
So I think the falling into, say, the NIST 800-207 model,
Mm-hmm.
identity feeds the zero trust architecture. So it
Mm-hmm.
in and of itself is not zero trust architecture. It is a feeder or a provider to the policy decision point, policy enforcement point, that model. So you've got a policy engine that
Mm-hmm.
would drive policy. You have a policy administrator; those become the policy decision point, and then you have the policy enforcement point, and that's in the control plane. So
Mm-hmm.
an entity looking to use identity as a key part of that, first off, needs to determine that they're using the principles applied to identity first. Is
Mm-hmm.
it truly a least privilege model? Now, least privilege is a commonly used term and understood across the industry. But
Right.
if you look at what zero trust is, it's the implementation of least privilege throughout an ecosystem.
Right.
So if we take identity, and this healthcare provider is looking at it, I have an identity provider. Now, how have you broken down those identity into functional roles so that you can break those roles down and enforce those roles with a policy? And backing up to that idea, do you even have the capacity at the control plane to enforce that? If you
Mm-hmm.
don't, that's one of the first sets of tooling you need to go investigate, is look at how you would enforce your policies that apply to those roles that are fed by the identity.
Makes sense. So defining the policies and then enforcing the policies of least privilege across your tech stack, right? Across your architecture.